Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna make a quick video, and I always say quick video, but it never turns out to be quick. But I'm gonna make a video about a question that was posed to me by someone that I know. And as you guys know, I always try to answer my questions from people here on video so that everybody can get it. So the question really is more about the coaching and the student kind of relationship. Which one is more important, if there's anything that is important? So to answer that question is they're both important, okay? So just like any other relationship, you have the husband and the wife. The husband can't do everything and the wife can't do everything. You both have to do it together. That's what you call a relationship. That's when they relate. And the same is true between a coach and a student. So this brings me back to a time. I have a lot of stories, but one that just came to mind when the conversation was broached, and it was with one of my students who he didn't have a car at the time. He lived in another town. He lived in the same state, but he lived in another town, and it was about a little less than 10 miles away. And this guy used to ride his bike all the way to, and at that time I was teaching in the basement of my house, but he used to ride his bike all the way to my house. And he was the first one of all the students who were local. He was the first one there at my door. And it shows kind of his mental fortitude and his stick to itiveness and that toughness and that grit and that willingness and that want that really shows when a student wants something. So now the same want that a student has is the same want that a coach should have. Now, in my case, I don't like to just say that I'm a coach for the martial arts, although I do coach and teach in the martial arts and have been for a zillion years. I really like to coach the individual. And like I just alluded to a little while ago, coaching is a relationship thing. And that's why you see a lot of people who go to different schools who don't necessarily like the school because they don't really have any camaraderie or communication or even a connection for that matter with the head coach and or the owner of the place. And that's kind of indicative of what a relationship should not look like and why people go looking here and there everywhere. Again, just like any other relationship. I have another story of a guy who he came through my brother. He was an old friend of ours, but heavy into the martial art. And he lived in Brooklyn. And at this time, I lived in New Jersey. So if anybody knows the difference between New York and New Jersey, first of all, they're two separate states. Number one. Number two, it costs money to get in and out of the state. Um, and number three, it's not like it's neighboring in that New Jersey goes to New York straight to Brooklyn. That's not the way it works. I mean, you have to go through Manhattan. So he used to, I had a class in the mornings on the weekends. It was at 9 a.m. Now, this guy had to find a train, obviously before that, on a weekend to go through Manhattan, to go to Port Authority, to go from Port Authority to take a bus to go to through the Lincoln Tunnel into New Jersey. So now, if you can imagine the arduous process that was, and he was there in front of my door before I was even ready. Now, again, you talk about grit, you talk about wanting, you talk about knowing. This is kind of like the relationship, that symbiotic relationship that a coach and a student should have in order for real growth to happen. So now I fast forward and I look at today's day and age. People say, and this is really where the thrust of the conversation kind of came from, was when you run a big gym, you have overhead, you're in a mall, there's I'm sure bills to pay and so on and so forth. Shouldn't you just be loaded with guys in there? And the short answer in the business sense is yes. The longer answer, which I won't belabor the point, is that I'm not just looking to fill my spot up with people who just want to come sparingly or when they want to come. I'm actually looking to make an impact in people's lives, and I'm hoping that the impact that I make in their lives would then ripple effect its way into their lives and into other lives. So again, as a coach for the fighting aspect of it, yes, that's what this school exists for. But as a coach from a human to human perspective, I'm more concerned about the individual and their growth outside of just the fighting sport. Of course, there's combat self-defense and all that other good stuff. But at the end of the day, even if you are fighting in a cage or in a boxing ring professionally, or even as an amateur, and that is your long-term goal, even after that, as an individual, once that's all said and done, you should still have the strength that you need to continue to thrive and survive in this world as an individual, someone who has that fortitude that I mentioned earlier to continue to move forward productively in this world. And that is more important to me than just the physical fighting aspect of it. So with regards to coaching and students, um, I'm looking for people who are not looking for excuses. You know, it's funny, like when someone wants to go to a concert, let's just say, they're going to find a way to go to the concert. You know, I don't have a car, and the bus doesn't pass that way. I think I have to take 3 different modes of transportation, and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, they find a way to actually make it somehow, because when a person wants something, believe you me, they will get it. That is the art of manifesting. Read my book. Now, when someone only comes here because someone else is here, or, you know, it's almost like, okay, for example, everybody loves sparring day, right? Now, it's if it was up to everybody else, they would come no days of the week and only for sparring day. And while that might be nice for you, you want to punch people about the head and kick, and, you know, possibly get your face punched and kicked as well. That's not what I espouse here. I'm looking for people who are consistent and people who are looking to actually grow, actually learn, so that when it does come to the sparring portion of whatever it is that we have for that week, that they're able to actually implement what they have learned. So I went the long route here, but believe it or not, the conversation I had with the person that I spoke with was far longer than this. But I really want you to understand the severity of the place that I'm trying to come at here. Okay, I just don't want prima donnas. I'm not looking for people to come in and out willy nilly. I want people who show the same, again, type of discipline both in and outside of what we call this fight world. And so if you're looking for something like that, and if you're looking for a coach who's actually serious about you, just as you are serious about yourself and are serious about doing what you say you want to do, then by all means reach out to me. And if you think I'm too harsh, then I don't know what to say. There are literally, and I say this almost in every video that I do, there are hundreds of schools out here just in the Tampa area alone. And I implore you, please go out there and find exactly the fit that fits you, the criteria that makes it better for you to suit and fit you. And if you're looking to not be bothered to be pushed to another level, then for sure this isn't the spot for you. All right. But if you are looking to grow in every aspect of your life, then perhaps this might be the spot. So at the end of the day, no, I don't want to fill this gym in with a million people who really don't really understand or know what it is to be a student of life, of the art, and of what's given to them here with what we have in our camaraderie. So looking forward to hearing from you guys. As always, I get my DMs. No one actually puts messages on the videos, so they DM me directly, but that's all good. You know how to reach me. All right, guys. Peace.